Okay, today we're gonna make a sort of assets manager in C. So all we're gonna do today is sprites, but you can expand this to whatever you want. And basically, here's the standard approach, not the standard, but like the average approach to loading a bunch of assets, in this case sprites. So we have an asset struct, which I'm gonna make static because, Raylib's texture 2D is really small. We're not loading images, we're just loading textures. And this is going to be like texture, no, wait. It's going to be a bunch of sprites. It's just going to be texture to the players. We're going to have the enemy. We're going to have the bullet. We're going to have whatever the fuck we want. And that's it. Right? Really cool. And we could do something even more fancy. For example, have like sprites, which you could pass like max sprites ID, and then you could have like an enum of sprite IDs. So it's just gonna be like sprites, the null sprite, we're gonna have the null sprite, so that if we like fail somehow, in our static inline, we're just gonna return a texture 2D called getSprite and just give it a sprite ID. And we're just gonna check if sprite ID is, hold on, let me make this a U in32 actually. So, right. If the sprite ID is bigger than or equal to than my max sprite ID, then we just return assets.sprites. We're just gonna return the, you know how in the source engine there's like this pink check mark or checker mark, whatever you want to call pattern texture, and then there's the error model. Well, same shit here basically, and then we're gonna have the player, then we're gonna have the enemy. So if the sprite icon, also don't forget the max sprite ID. Baby crying in the background, what can you do? Anyways, we're just gonna return the thing. So if the sprite is invalid, so it's like way out of our reach, we just return this. Otherwise, we just return the actual sprite, and there it is. This is a pretty okay way of doing it, I guess. And let's just make a little, let's call it load sprites function. And we just do an asset sprite. Let's say the sprite player equals to like load texture. And then let's say player.png. And same shit for the null thingy. This is gonna be like no texture found. Wait, there it is. This is a pretty okay way of doing it. I won't lie. It does work. Now let's just rename it to like the sprites we already have. So we have a little baby sprite, I guess. And then here we just draw that texture. Get sprite, and then sprite baby, then 0, 0, and then the color tint or whatever. And let's just make a directory called sprites. Copy some all our sprites from like the previous 2D render we made. And that's it. Let's just do a little main.c output a link with the Raylib, link with math and x11 and just run the thing. I already got some errors. Yes, I forgot. Take the recipe ends. My bad. There we go. That's it. This is a pretty okay way of doing it, and we could. It's kind of annoying to have to like edit this all the way up here and also this all the way down here. We could do like just the Vim bookmark trick where you could just look like you're over here, and then you want to add a sprite. You search for colon sprite, and when you want to go to the other bookmark, you just press N, and that's it. You're there, right? So you can just go between those, and we could just make this here, for example. So you can just press capital O, and you can already edit your sprite. And the same shit here. We could just put this here, so that when you want to add a new sprite, you directly just press O, and you just start doing the stuff you want to do, and that is basically it. But how about something even more convenient? How about what if in the getSprite function we literally just put the sprite name, we literally just put the sprite name here. and that's it. It automatically does the thing for us. Well, for that dream to come true, first of all, we're just gonna need dir and .h. So we can, well, basically, what we're gonna do is iterate through this directory, just iterate through it using dir int, and then load each one of these, and then put them all in a hash map. So the key for that hash map is gonna be this, and the value is gonna be the actual texture. Now, since this video isn't about implementing a hash map, I was gonna table the same shit, I guess. I'm just gonna use stbds at this point. It's a pretty mature implementation. It just freaking works. So let's just get rid of this. Who needs this anyway? Like, dude, this is so funny. Let's just make a hash map entry. So sprite hash entry, and then let's just call it. No, wait, no, we're not gonna call it. We're gonna just make it a string. We're not gonna make it an ID or anything. So the key and the value, which is gonna be a texture to the value. Here we're gonna have a pointer, so it's just basically an array of these. And here, let's actually iterate through the directory. Well, here let's actually get this one out of the way. So instead of the ID, we're just gonna have a name, and all we're gonna do is return sh get. So we're just gonna sh is just basically string hash map. So it's like instead of wait, why do I have to explain this if I can just go and let stbds explain it? So sh get, there it is. It just returns the value corresponding to the key in the hash map. There you go. Easy as that. So let's just give it the assets dot sprites and give it a name. That's it. It's just instead of typing sh get asset sprite, we just do a little static. This is basically just the same as a macro at this point. It's just for convenience, nothing more. Now let's actually iterate through our directory. So dir entry vp. Let's actually open the directory first. So just open directory, and then let's just make res path, or yeah, res path. Here, just gonna do res sprites. Also, while we're at it, let's just include assert. Let's just like assert, so we check if the directory is fucked up or not. So res path, assert this little directory. Let's actually iterate through this. So wait, god damn it, I can't type. Just give it the directory, and then let's just do a little printf for each name, the name. And I don't even memorize this. It's all in the, there it is, yeah. Also be careful, there's two redirectories. There's the old Linux one and there's the new one, which is in base 3. So just go here, here it is the name. Redirectory just gives us a little thingy, and what these don't really matter that much. We only need this. So yeah, just exposed my OBS there. Oh my god, behind the scenes exposed. I'm gonna die. So now, oh yeah, right, stdio. Stdio. There we go. And okay, we don't want these two. So instead of doing like a string comparison to see if, oh yeah, is it a dot or is it a dot dot? Here's a shitty solution that I freaking love. Just do this. Wait. God damn it, I can't type. I already said that, I think. So let's just do that. Look at that. Ultra optimized string comparison is just an int we really increased. Okay, so now we got the name, right? But what do we need? We don't need the name. This sucks, okay? What we need is the full path so that we give it to raylib so we can load the texture, and we need the name with that.png. Now, get your ass ready because we're gonna deal with C null terminated strings. Okay, null terminated strings are the worst, but we have to deal with them because both the raylib and the libc, the standard library, uses those. So just bear with me over here. So first of all, let's have a little path. So path, let's just make like 128, more than enough. And all it is gonna be is literally just uh sn printf. Give it the path, give it the size of the path because it's a compile time known constant thingy. Just the formatting is literally just gonna be this. We're gonna give it the res path and the name, which is there it is. Now let's just printf these and then the path. There we go. Okay, so we got the path. Now how about the name? Well, for the name, what we could do is just have a temporary buffer for each one of them. It's also going to be 128 because that's more than enough. We're just gonna copy, and also I forgot how to use it. I know str copy, but str ncpy? I am not sure. So what do we need? We need a destination. Okay, sure, destination. Why not the source, which is the the name of this, and last but not least, we need the size, which is just gonna be the size of name. Now, what else do we need? Actually, wait. No. This is bad. 256. Okay, we're good. We're good. So now, also let's set the because we're not copying the whole because it's just 128, not 256. We're not copying the null terminator, I think. So let's just like uh do that just in case. Or we could do the fancy little thingy. Here it is. This is the null terminator, and this is the fancy null terminator. Last but not least, let's actually put something in the goddamn. Actually, no, I don't think this is gonna quite work because this is in the stack and it's just gonna fuck up everything. So, sprite name. Actually, no. Sh put. Where's the put? Sh put. There it is. Okay, we give it the assets.sprites. We give it the key, which is literally just gonna be a duplicate of name. Actually, no. We're gonna have another sprite name because we don't need the .png, right? We don't need that. So the delimiter, we're gonna give it a name, is just dot. And since we have like only one dot in the whole string, we're gonna be good. So now let's just do this. Give it load texture using the path. Also, you're just gonna pass in sprite name. And I think that's it at this point. Let's just do a last printf to make sure we're passing the right things to the hash map. So the name, we're gonna give the name and the path, which is gonna be this. And then we're just gonna give it the name, sprite name, and the path, which is the path, and let's just run this. Oh, it already works. There we go. Never mind. We don't have to test anything. Look at that. So now instead of, let's say I want to add a sprite, I added the sprite dead, right? Well, instead of going ahead and going to like this struct, go into the enum and add in the ID and then just, or no. Directly, just do a little dead. That's it. Dude? Sure, let's do it, dude. Let's say I made a mistake. What's gonna happen? Nothing. That's it. Convenient as fuck. And it works. You can do this like for audio files or for anything. And also, I think STPDS does have like an SH default or some shit. Wait. Sets the default value for the hash map. Yeah, exactly. So we can just say hm default and then the hash map itself. So assets.sprites. Let's just put that up top actually. Just put all the put it all the way here before we iterate through the directory. Okay. And then we just give it the value, which is just load texture, res sprites. Let's say that if we load the wrong asset, if we load the wrong thingy, here it is. Okay, so let's run this, and we already have an error. And these are all macros, so we're kind of fucked. Great. Okay, so let's say we're just drawing our little baby, okay, all going good, and then I make a mistake. I make like a little typo, so I type something random. Well, instead of just getting nothing, we get a little dead, so no texture found, basically. And yeah, that is basically it. This you could apply the same principles to like sound and all that. And I mean, I'm not gonna keep yapping. That's it. Yeah, the source code is in the description. Just go do whatever the fuck you want. See ya.